ahead. The stage is yours.
Vanakkam. My name is Vasugi. I am from Chennai. Actually, I and Eric, we live about in the same area. And I love storytelling. I trained with Eric. And I run a storytelling organization called Madras Storybook. I work mostly with children. I have weekend storytelling sessions. And I go to schools where we use storytelling as a medium for language teaching. As you know, in India, we have lots of vernacular languages, and switching from your mother tongue to English is tough for kids in kindergarten and primary schools. So we use storytelling as a tool to help them to build vocabulary and build a language. Other than this, I am a trainer. I teach, I go to school, I do training sessions for teachers, how to conduct storytelling sessions, and also how to conduct subjects into storytelling material for the classroom. Having said that, my story today is from the Mahabharata. I think all of you will have a general outline of the Mahabharata, already know. And this is a story of the 5 Pandava brothers, Yudhishthira, Arjuna, Bhima, Nakula, and Sahadeva, who are having a fight with their 100 Kaurava cousins. And the disagreements and the problems between them lead to the final Kurukshetra war, in which all their issues are resolved. It's a vast book, but we are going to deal with only a very tiny aspect of it. And my story is Bhim and Bahasura. If you know the word Bahasura, you will know an Asura means a person of the underground. He's a demon, he's a cannibal, he eats humans. And this story, Bahasura, they're always fighting against the Devas, and they're totally bad characters. And so this story, I just start with the story right away. The 5 Pandava brothers with their mother Kunti were walking quietly in the forest because they had just escaped a great attempt at their life when the palace they were staying in was burnt down to the ground. They had dug an underground tunnel and escaped without anyone knowing that they were still alive. For the time being, they had to remain incognito. Nobody should recognize or know that they were alive. So they continue to walk to the forest, and they donned clothes of ascetics. They wore very simple white clothing. They had matted hair. They wore bark. And nobody could even guess that they were princesses. As they walked through the forest, they came to this beautiful village called Ekachakra. Ekachakra was an ideal village with a beautiful farming going on, people going about their businesses, a very pastoral kind of a setting. In this place, the 5 Pandava brothers and their mother decided that they would live a life of mendicants. They would be ascetics, they would recite the holy books, they would go begging with their begging bowls every day into the village and ask for food. They would eat only that food. So, as they walked into the village, a kind farmer, a Brahmin farmer man, invited them and said, "You seem like strangers to our village. Please come. My house is open to you. This veranda, this tinnai, in Tamil we call it tinnai, the outer part of your house where people can sleep and lie down and stay. You can use this as your shelter. Stay here. To us, guests are like gods," he said. Kunti was happy for this happy to take the farmer on this invitation because they were looking for a place to stay where they could be safe. So she thanked the farmer profusely and she said, "Oh, thank you very much. I and my 5 sons will stay here quietly in this place. We will not disturb your family indoors." That is how they stayed. And every day the 5 sons took their begging bowls and walked out into the village seeking alms. They would stand quietly outside every household, and the woman of the house would step out with any little food that she could spare, rice, fruits, whatever. She would place it in the bowl. They would bring all the food back to their mother, and their mother, she would collect all the food and divide it into half. She would give one half to her most strongest son, Beam, because Beam was the strongest and he was always the hungriest too. And the other portion she would divide equally into 5 portions, and her 4 sons and she, they ate. They continued to live in this way. The village of Ekachakra was deceptively calm because right outside that village, deep in the dark forest, there lived Bahasura. Bahasura was an asura who was a cannibal. He made no difference to him to eat humans or cattle. Every other day he raided the village. He grabbed people, he grabbed cattle, he grabbed anything at all that was living, and he gobbled them up and ate them and created a lot of distress among the people and destruction. Even the village when the village applied to their king for protection, the king came with his army, but he was no equal for Bahasura. All he could do was make a deal, a negotiation with Bahasura, saying, I will offer you a cartload of food with 2 bullocks, and a driver, a man, a human, who will drive this cart into the forest. You can have this every week. And if you have this, please don't come into this village and cause destruction. Bahasura agreed to this deal. He was getting a big cart full of free meat and 2 bullocks and a human bullock, and he was happy. So he agreed to this deal. But it was left to the villagers to decide that one person from every household must take it in turns to go and drive the bullock cart into the forest. And this was a situation when Kunti and her sons were there. One day, after the sons had gone for their alms, Kunti was sitting outside at the veranda when she heard distressful crying inside the house. She went inside to find out what was happening. The farmer and his wife were crying piteously. The farmer said, "Oh, wife, how can I let you go? I should be the person to go into the forest. It is I, as the head of the house, who must sacrifice my life." The wife was crying and pleading with him and saying, "Oh no, husband, you cannot go into the forest. If you go away, who will look after our children? If you are here, you can take care of them. Let me drive the cart into the forest." The eldest daughter, a girl of 11 years old, said, "Amma, Appa, please don't go. You stay here. Look after younger brother. I will drive the cart into the forest." To be sacrificed to Bahasura, they were all fearful, sad, and were afraid that their family would be destroyed. Kunti saw this piteous scene and slowly she asked, "Can you tell me what is this that is happening with you, the village, and Bahasura?" And the whole story was told to her. After she listened to this, she calmly looked at the farmer and said, "Why do you worry? I have strong sons. I will send my strongest son, Beam, into the forest to drive the cart. and he will take the food to Bahasura tomorrow, she said. Immediately, the farmer said, no, no, you can't. You are our guest. We can't let you sacrifice your son, they said. He said, but Kunti said, oh, but you don't know my son. He is very strong. He can take care of this giant Bahasura. Don't worry. The farmer would not agree. He said, guests are like gods. How can I let you do this for me? But Kunti insisted. She said, please don't worry. This is one way for me to repay the kindness you have shown me. We have nothing now. We have come here seeking asylum in your house. And this is a way we can repay you your kindness. Please don't deny us this opportunity. The farmer and his wife could not refuse this. They agreed. That day, after her 5 handsome and tall, strong sons came back from their begging, Kunti drew Bhim aside and told him, Bhim, today I want you to listen to something. She explained the whole situation and she said, tomorrow, early in the morning, I want you to drive that bullock cart and take it into the forest and meet this demon, Bahasura, she said. If there was one thing that Bhim loved, it was, first was of course food. He loved food. Second was of course a good fight. And he knew both of this was possible if he went to see the Asura, Bahasura in the forest. He immediately agreed with great enthusiasm and he said, wow, great ma, I'm just waiting to go, he said. That night, Yudhishthira, her eldest son, came to his mom and said, Ma, why did you agree to send Bhim to go and seek this giant, this demon in the forest? Because everyone knows there's only one person equal in strength to Bahasura, and that is Bhim. If Bhim kills Bahasura, the whole world will know that we are staying here at Ekachakra. How will you explain that? And we will be found. We don't have enough resources now to fight against our 100 cousins. But Kunti said, I know, my son, I know. But then, this is our only chance to pay back this family that has been helping us so much. We will find a way to escape unseen. So the next day, but before the launch, the whole household was busy cooking. The huge cart was got ready. There were big pots of food. There was sambar, there was vegetable biryani, and there was rasam and payasam and laddus and all kind of sweets and all kind of food that was very enticing that they thought to Bahasura was cooked and put in huge pots inside the cart. They tied bunches of bananas and coconuts to the side of the cart. And they got the bullocks ready. And Bhim, ready and raring to go, came in and he saw all the food loaded into the cart. And his stomach was just grumbling and rumbling. And he grumbled to his mom, why is it that this demon is getting all this food? I haven't had a good meal in such a long time. And you want me to drive this cart load of food and go give it away to that fool? His mom said, it's all right, Bhim. Take the cart and go in the forest. So Bhim got into the cart and started driving the cart. As he went, slowly, the bulls went chung, 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 chung. The bells on their neck was jingling and he went to the last peak, deep into the forest. As he went deeper and deeper, it became quiet and there was no sound. It was still. Even the birds were not singing in the trees. He reached a clearing in the forest. Eric, can you somebody?
Venus Extra Smooth Sensitive with new Skin Elixir lubricating gel that helps protect skin against irritation, bumps, and burn. So call me sensitive. I want to be heard, and neither will my skin.
I will just continue.
Venus, my skin, my way.
Meet Hair Food by Garnier Ultimate Blends.
So when they reached the clearing in the forest, And when he reached there, he was quiet and he was expecting this great demon to jump out from somewhere and attack him. But there was no such attack. He was not quiet. So he got off the cart.
Eric, could you mute everybody and then unmute the teller again?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Eric. Thank you so much. Okay. So, and going back a little bit. So, Bean drove his cart into the forest, and there it was, so quiet and still. He was expecting an attack from this great Asura, this demon, at any moment. He expected him to be pounced upon, for someone to come rushing through the trees, where he would have to face the demon headlong. But nothing like that happened. It was still and quiet. He left the cart, he jumped down, he looked around. Where is this Asura? Where did this guy go? Isn't he supposed to be waiting for all this food? And what lovely food, oh my God. And here it is. And where is this guy? So he went there, stood upon a boulder and shouted, "Hey, Bahasura! Hey, Bahasura!" No Bahasura. Oh, great. This is what I've been wanting to happen. He cut a big banana leaf, spread it on the ground, and took out the pots one by one and piled the food onto the banana leaf. He sprinkled water, cleaned the leaf, and placed it on that. The laddus, the bajangris, the sambar rice, and the rasam, and the payasam, and everything. Oh, he'd been wanting to have this meal for such a long time. And he started eating handfuls of rice, enjoying it. And he was eating so hard, he did not notice that Bahasura was coming. Bahasura, who had heard the voice far away, came running fast to the clearing. He too wanted to eat his cartload of food. But the minute he saw Beam sitting there and eating the food meant for him, you can imagine the rage he went into. He was so blinded by hatred, he just jumped upon Beam right from the back and pounded him on the back. Beam was not disturbed. He just continued to eat, flicked him away like a mosquito. And he was not going to be distracted from his eating, right? So he continued to eat. And when he had finished eating, he washed his hands. Oh, this is the first time he was feeling full in a long time. First time he's enjoyed such a lovely meal. And then he turned around to face his assailant. And there was Bahasura, tall, as strong as himself, as large as a mountain. And then a fight ensued that the Mahabharata describes as a clashing of mountains. It was, they uprooted huge trees and they beat each other with it. They used whole boulders and they threw them on each other. And they fought and fought for a long time. But Bhim, who had the strength of 100 elephants, we know why Kunti was so confident about her son now, who had the strength of 100 elephants, slowly tired out Bahasura. Bahasura, as he weakened and he was becoming disoriented, Bhim grew tired of this, picked up this huge giant, swirled him around his head and threw him to the ground. Bahasura died. Bhim was so worked up. He picked up the body of Bahasura, took him to the cart, placed it in the cart and called to the bullock, "Go back to Ekachakra," he said. The bullocks took the body of Bahasura back to Ekachakra. The bulls and the bells came ringing back into the village. The villagers all came out, rushed. They had never seen or heard the bulls return back from the forest ever before. And they were so dumbstruck when they saw the dead body of Bahasura on the cart. And they were so amazed that first all they could do was look with speechlessness and fear. How has this happened? Who killed this demon? Is this some magic? Is it some celestial being who had come and killed this? But then slowly they realized, oh, Bahasura's dead. He's dead. We are free. And they became jubilant and happy. What did it matter how Bahasura died? He was dead and they were free. Their village was going to be safe from this demon for a long time. And then slowly a whisper spread through the kingdom. People said something strange had happened in the forest near Ekachakra, and the demon Bahasura was dead. The whisper spread from mouth to mouth, from village to village, and reached all the way to Hastinapura, where the 100 cousins of the Pandavas were ruling. Once it reached Duryodhana's ear, he said, "What? Bahasura is dead. Who? Only one person could have killed him, and that is Bhim. They are in Ekachakra. Get an army and let us march to Ekachakra." The army was being collected and they started to move towards Ekachakra. But that night, when it was deep, dark, and silent, Kunti and her 5 sons, they collected all their beings. They rolled them up into their cloth bundles. They slung them on their shoulders, and without waving goodbye or wishing anyone, very silently, they started to walk away from the village. What anybody did not know, they could not tell. So they disappeared away and far away into the night, away from Ekachakra, before anybody could find them. Thank you.
I'm just spellbound. Wonderful visuals, wonderful visuals. I mean, it looked like an animation film right in front of my eyes. Awesome, awesome, Vasugi.
Thank
So
you.
good, so good. Thank you so much. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you.